I'm Alicia Schelke, and I am the assistant coach here for track and field at Augsburg University. I think that it really helps when we know that they're prepared and they know a little bit about what the collegiate experience is going to be like. Since we're D3, it's a little bit different, so academics are definitely a priority for us. The higher the GPA, the higher the ACT, obviously the better. But Augsburg is really special in the fact that you actually don't need to provide your ACT score now, and there's other things that we take into consideration in terms of admission into the school. But student athlete is the entire idea behind Division III, so academics is a really big part of it. During the season, it's pretty busy, I'm not going to lie. Usually our athletes are going to school during the day, and then they make it over to practice around 3 o'clock, and they do their warm-ups, they do their stretches. If there's a weight room session, then we do the weight room session, and then we actually use the U of M practice facilities. So then we're throwing them into vans, and we're busing them over to the indoor field house over at the U of M, or if you're a thrower, we're going to St. Kate's. So we definitely have to have everything organized in terms of that. Usually practice is done around 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, depending on where we're going for the day. When it's off season, it's a little bit different because we don't have track meets on weekends. Our track meets are usually on Saturdays, and it takes the whole day. Luckily, everywhere in our conference is very close, so we're not gone doing like these ridiculous 4-hour drives to get to where we need to be. But it is a really long day. In the off season, we are working out still. But again, that's the student's choice of whether or not they actually want to take the workouts that we give them and use them and do them in their off time. And then once we get into season and everyone's back in school, then we have organized practices before we actually start competing. And so that's about the same minus the Saturday traveling for meets.
Division III level?
So we do not at the Division III level offer athletic scholarships. However, we do offer academic scholarships, and so I just read a stat, 97% of our students actually have some kind of financial aid that they're eligible for, so a lot of our student athletes are on financial aid in different amounts, and then we do a lot of academic and first-year scholarships. So again, the grades come into play, but there's also scholarships for art and music and things like that that we also do here at Augsburg. Yeah, so what's nice about Augsburg, it's a very small school, and the faculty to student ratio is 13:1. So when a student is having issues in class, we hear about it right away. So we're sent an academic alert that says what's going on, if the student's missing class, or if they've dropped below a certain grade level within the class. So that comes to us right away, which means that we can address it really fast. So generally we bring the student in, we have a one-on-one. Sometimes it's as easy as they missed an assignment or for some reason they didn't get a test in, and our staff is really awesome here at Augsburg about saying, okay, how can we get it made up? Since the majority of our students here are athletes. So that's really nice. We also do, for the track and field program specifically, we do study hours. So if you dip below a certain GPA, then you need to perform a certain number of hours here every week where you get your study time in and you clock in and out. I think that obviously how your performance, how you're doing, is a huge part of it. We're going through constantly and combing through stats, looking to see how students are doing in terms of their competitions at the high school level. But another big portion of it is communication and personality. Our school especially, we're looking for the right fit for Augsburg University, which might mean that you're not like the top elite runner or whatever it might be, but we are looking for someone who personality-wise is going to be a really good fit for this school and for our team and the program that we're building. So I think that's an important piece that sometimes athletes forget about, is that the coach also wants to find an athlete that's coachable. A lot of dedication and hard work, even at the D3 collegiate level. It is a time commitment, and it's something that isn't a privilege, isn't a right, it's a privilege. So for you to come in and decide to be a part of this team, if offered an opportunity, we're expecting you to be at practice, we're expecting you to put in the time, the hard work, and do everything else outside of that in terms of schoolwork. And we try, since this is D3, to put things first, such as schoolwork and family, and then athletics underneath it. But it still is a time commitment, and so dedication, organization, those are the kinds of things that you're going to need to know.